whatsoever. So that's it, though. Everything else has been pretty solid for them. And on the Cloud9 blue side of things, also been very strong since the beginning of the year on this Icebox map. But I would say Sentinels have been a bit better on average.
And if you're Cloud9 blue, you're probably thinking things look well because of that matchup against 100 Thieves. It being incredibly one-sided. Some early aggression out towards B. It is going to be a rotate back towards mid. Cloud9 playing this one very slow. We saw how important the pistol was on split. It's just as important here on Icebox.
Oh, absolutely. It's worth noting that there's been some points in time where Cloud9 Blue have been dominating teams. They dominated T1, they dominated NRG, they dominated Renegades. So they've been able to win big on this map several times. So they're definitely going to feel at home here as we see them trying to attack into this A site. The recon vault will lead the way, and so will that pick from Zeta.
Yep, Zeta leading the way here. The tip of the spear for the squad. Six able to trade one back, not before Leaf finds another. Cloud9 up a player, the wall. Tough to break through. You're going to have to look to play through heaven or at least come from screens. Floppy gets caught out on the flank. Not really where that Omen wanted to be. And Zoms trying to go back to the killing ways as we saw on Haven. Mitch takes a 1v2 fight. Eventually will fall to sick, but Zeta's there to back it up. And Zeta again. So much weight on his shoulders coming from that last game to this one. And he lives up to it. It's a 3K for the Sova, and it's a pistol to Cloud9.
Okay. Here we go. We're underway. We're already into the thick of it, baby. Oh, man. I'm just so giddy that I get to cover this game and that it's this good. Like, I feel like... I know this is kind of selfish to say in the middle of a broadcast that thousands of people are watching, but I just have to say, man, like, I just can't believe it. This is awesome. And I'm sure you feel the same way. And I think that everyone at home watching is also happy to see this exciting of a match. Like, sometimes there's a lot of build-up because of how important the game's going to be. They don't want to just be in some stupid landslide 2-0, and you're just like, man, like, that was just so anticlimactic. This is delivered for sure. And I hope it continues to do so, as we are going to see Cloud9 Blue here look to get these Spectres rolling against the fully saved Sentinels. For the most part, there's a couple of sheriffs out there in a Ghost.
And those pistols can still be so dangerous. So this round, I feel like 60-40, it feels like, because the arsenal for Cloud9 Blue. But Sentinels, they've got that X factor of just finding ways to make things work when they don't have a whole lot headed their direction. As Leaf looks to push through. That toxic screen takes a bit of damage, will be healed up. Sheriff shot gonna go wide, and Leaf forced to back away and link up with the squad. It's all 5 members stacked up. Cloud9 Blue over towards that B-long area. There's the wall going down. They're trying to shoot it down. The dink to come through, but Shazam invested in the armor. Leaf going right back to work. 17 rounds forced. Oh my goodness, forced to reload, but the kill starts to come through. It's the pistols. It's the upgrades. This round leaning towards Sentinels, and they only have to find one more kill, but it's Zeta. Picks up one, needs to find another. 2 kills down, low HP. The Ghost comes through. 10's gonna get spotted, but not taken down. What a round, and I think that is the definition of what we're going to see this game, Dust.
All right, so I'm going to be real with you real quick, Tanner. I'm about to have a heart-to-heart. I know my job, you know, is to be that color commentator, bringing that analysis, really give you that insight, break things down. I have no idea what just happened. It looked like everything was going according to plan. That wall breakdown timing was unbelievable. Yep. I feel like that was like maybe the kind of catalyst for why things went so astray. But I really did think Cloud9 were doing all the right things that round. You know, the placement of everything, getting the spike down, having superior firepower, having, you know, fairly good post-plant positioning. Seemed like they should have every edge, and then the wall breaks, and then Six just like, oh yeah, remember me, I'm one of the best there is. And wins the round.
So 2 portions, 2, I want to call them quadrants, but that's not right. We'll say 2 bricks of that barrier actually broke, and I think one of them broke because of the plant being too close to it. Because, okay, let's be honest, the Sheriff in the Classic, they're not shooting down two bits of that wall. So I think it was kind of just a flub on the plant. This time, Leaf looks to play on the opposite side of it, and plant not going to break the wall too much this time around. It is Zoms instead, but chipped away. Now Floppy blocked off, can't find a flank. Will be forced to link up the team out towards B long, but Cloud9 find themselves down a player. Hunter Shuri is available. Boy's going to get chipped away at, has a Sheriff in hand. Sick going to work. Boys picks up one, trying to sneak away for another, but Dapper is there to catch him on the way out, and 10s will spray him down. 2 kills at the end there to spike to be defused, and Sentinels battle back 2 in a row.
Yeah, that shock dart was more of a nuke when it fell on that man. Like, it fell right in his lap, and obviously Tins and Company spring to action off the back of that from Sick, because Sick already has Hunter's Fury available. They're going to be able to go ahead and start buying up rifles. They have an op already for Shazam. And I'm happy because we didn't really get to see Shazam do his jet opping in the previous map. They got wax. It never really came into play, let's be real. And so now to see him be able to have it defensively on Icebox, which is a lot of long lanes, you know, he feels at home here. It allows him to kind of do what he's supposed to do. The dude hasn't really got to do anything so far this map either. I mean, he's kind of not been required. So we'll see what happens against this fully bought out C9 as they try to do the 2 boost, and well, let's just say it didn't work, or at least not initially. Now all of a sudden they've reeled it right back into a 3 versus 3. Spike's making its way over to B site. No one's there to, you know, really stop this plant from going down, except for the Hunter's Fury. That could certainly put a damper on things.
It's going to slow things down for a moment. It actually even finds a tag onto Poise, who will eventually fall. The dismiss come through so Tens can get away. Sneaked on the other side of the boxes and can't be sprayed through. Mitch picks one up, evens the odds once more, but very low on HP as Ten sits him down, but back and forth we go. Now a 1v1. It's the imposter duel, and Sick comes out on top. Zeta, the imposter, and Sentinels to 3.
Sentinels have really kind of taken that moment where they break through a round you can never expect, and they are running with it, my man. What a shutdown at the start of that round off of that 2 boost play. And then even though they lost a couple of players initially afterwards, Shazam times the Hunter's Fury perfectly. It allows them to start setting their players up to, you know, retake just how they need to. And they get it done.
And that's so tough because Leaf goes up top. He's got a Vandal in hand, and it's tough. You don't have that same moving accuracy that you do when you have the Phantom, so that first kill to fall really hurts, and 2 quick kills traded back, so you think at the end of the day, Dan picks up one on the lead. First to fall again, and it's a duelist going to work here for Sentinels. The eco round, so one we're expected to head their way, but if you're Cloud9 Blue, you were hoping to do a bit of damage. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case.
No.
Zeta falls, and Floppy, not long for this world. Only able to pick up 1 before falling. 4 ultimates online now for Cloud9 Blue, and this might be the round we see him.
It's kind of do or die right now for Cloud9 Blue. Like, you want to get something going in this first half, and this is your first real crack at it on a full buy. Only had 1 prior to that, and they got rinsed in that particular situation. What I want to highlight there is obviously we saw the aggression from Tins and Shazam and what that accomplished, but also this combination of Zoms and Dapper, that Viper wall is no longer just annoying. It's punishing if you try to challenge it.
Yes.
And it really allows Dapper to set up that barrier, which you can't really shut it down because you can't really play through that Viper wall. You have to kind of spam through it or hope for the best, and it's really kind of allowing Sentinels choose to have a heavier A defense in place. It allows them to be dynamic on how they, you know, play Shazam's op, but in a way that's safe. As they're going to go ahead and put the Viper spin on A this time around to make things difficult on Cloud9 Blue trying to approach this area. They're trying to drone through it anyway, and Leaf actually steps into it. A very dangerous prospect. Hunter's Fury allowing him to kind of pave the way. That's Zeta, who tags 2 players in the process and gets 1 of them. Mitch combines with Poise as well, and it's looking great for Cloud9.
2 of 4 ultimates used there in that one, and the hand-in-hand from Zeta and Leaf. Unfortunately, I say his name, he gets cursed and he's taken down. Shazam hangs on to the operator, and round should go the way. That right there is just from the heavy fingers. This is gotta, I mean, you gotta be feeling some kind of way in a series like this.
That had to have hurt, right? I mean, Jet's feeling that one on the forehead for sure. Oh, I'll tell you who else is feeling something. Floppy in the pit of his stomach. It's pain.
You will not
Spain without the S, and it actually forces out a resurrection. Now we're early in the game. Boys chips away at Shazam. 8 HP now. You don't want to peek it again. It's the operator. That's more than enough health to find a kill, and you would love to take this one away, but you just can't do it. Finally, they will, as Zeta finds a 3K. Now, before all that craziness happened from Shazam, Leaf pushed through the Viper's pit.
Yes.
Wasn't sure as to where anybody was playing, and there was a bit of room on the right side, and this Hunter's Fury cleared it out for him, so he was allowed to push on through and get this position on the outside, and then it all just starts to fall together. Now, that was 3 of 4 ultimates, 2 more online for Cloud9 Blue, and I'm excited to see what Floppy's going to do with this one.
And you're thinking to yourself, kind of just building off of that if if you're Sentinels in that situation, you're thinking, okay, this Viper's pit, you know, this is going to do wonders. You know, and then Cloud9 Blue are just like, man, what Viper's pit? I mean, what a brilliant risky, but brilliant exchange to get them around.
And we're starting to get a look at some of the ways to counter a very nuisance of an ult. It's the duelist for Cloud9 this time around. No longer Shazam and Tens, but Poison Leaf. Want to work on the A site. Picking up the overtime here, trying to push to 3 rounds, and only 3 remaining for Sentinels. They look to bring up the rear. Last pack is there. Resurrection queued up, but Dapper taken down. Sick will trade it back, but it's only 1 member taken off the board, and that spike is all the way on this B side. Should be a free round.
That's what I was trying to get at. Leaf did so well by himself to create pressure that everyone else could back out and reroute this spike, and so much value by that player to just cause that much of a ruckus. And now it sets them way back in a 2 versus 4 retake here on B site.
No charges.
I don't feel like Cloud9 are really in a position either to really want to go hunting because they don't want to lose their weapon. So it does look like they're just going to get far enough away from this one. Sick waiting for anybody to head that way. Zombs narrowly missing a couple of players pushing out towards mid. Either way, the spike will blow, the save to come on through, and that's one of very few objective wins we're probably going to see in this game. I think on split there was 1 objective win. Now we only got 14 rounds, but there it is. Cloud9 Blue go to 3.
We're in a game again, bro. We're in a tight contest again. We've been here before, and we're delivered it yet again. It's the Poise Leaf combo, bro. They just tore that A side apart, and again, Leaf's resonance at A to just keep applying the pressure, keep posturing up, never allowing Sentinels to feel confident to rotate, as well as getting kills. Like, that's just kind of icing on the cake at that point. It really set up that 4-on-2 post play at B. Really good pivot from Cloud9 Blue. But a full buy is up here again for Sentinels. They're getting aggressive with Shazam's operator here on the A front. He misses a big shot. He doesn't get away. Leaf punishing that so massively.
And Tens gets spotted. Not going to be taken down. He trades back the kill. So Leaf off the board. Showstopper off the board. But that could have been huge for Sentinels to steal back some of the momentum. But instead, we find ourselves directly even in a 4v4. The game very close to being 4-4 as well. Dark cover goes through. Barrier orb going to be used to try and get this plant down. Floppy will do just that. As Mitch and Poise look to go aggressive. Empress pop. The Dark going to find quite a bit of information. Dapper to find the first kill. That one coming from Snowman through that open area. Sick going to take a bunch of damage, and Poise dismisses away. Still very healthy on the Reyna and still looking to get so much done. Dapper with a nice little flank. The dismiss to get away again. Tens will fall, and this is Poise's round. He's not letting Sentinels battle back. He's looking for the tie up here.
Again, man, it's the ability of Cloud9 Blue to have such a, I don't know if feint's the right word, because usually a feint's just like movement and you back off. It's like the follow through to actually get it paid to chase people down, to punish aggressive plays of your opposition, but it's still that same kind of effect of a feint where you do enough to pull rotations and like really create a vulnerability, and then their mindset to just make that quick pivot and to never hesitate on it. Right, and just, you know, that's won them a couple of rounds in a row now. They've tied up the game. Money's still available for both teams to keep full buying, but money's starting to run real dry on the Sentinel side of things. I mean, this could be the 2-for-1 round for Cloud9 Blue if they play their cards right. And again, with so much on the line, with this being essentially now a best of 1 to determine who goes to Iceland, that's just a big time moment to happen for Poise and company.
Showstopper pop. Blast packs get onto the side. Dapper going to be spotted out. Now that smoke's taken off the board. You've only got the Cloud Burst to work with now. Dapper is there to trade it back, but Leaf doing his job. Going good for 1. He got his. Now can the rest of the squad get it? Unfortunately, he got his, but it was resurrected. And Mitch doesn't have a res. Won't give a life, but will take one. Shazam will fall, and we find ourselves once more in a 4v4. It was the knives online as Zeta looks to knife on through. Tens is here, though, waiting and watching. As Cloud9 Blue start to fall apart, they're down to the last 2. Sick plant on the other side. Diffuser gonna be killed for a moment. Not too sure if it got halfway as Tens continue to push up. A beautiful buddy system there for Sentinels to reclaim the lead.
I don't know if this is possible, but can we get a replay of that moment for Zeta? Because don't know of a more feels bad moment than that.
Yeah.
Like, if we could just rewind the tape on that. I mean, just because we all know what's coming, right? This guy is knocking at the door. He just doesn't know what's on the other end. Like,
it's like, what is Tens doing here?
I mean, that has to hurt.
Yeah.
I know that wasn't necessarily the most important kill, but it did stop the flank, right? So it did kind of cut off one of the options on that retake. And it set them up to be able to focus fully on that long B position. So that was a little bit grueling. But a big moment for Sentinels because, again, their credits were in a very vulnerable place, right? You lose that, it's likely Cloud9 Blue lit up 6-4. Instead, Sentinels hold them off. They're able to keep a full buy rolling and able to keep the lead as well.
And that one started off decent as Leaf found the kill on the Dapper. I'm going to hold that thought. Leaf picks up another one. He is going to get tagged by the Hunter Shuri on the way out. 46 HPs. Tens was here playing the buddy system. Unfortunately, not able to be the buddy that Shazam needed. A kill traded back. It's Dapper instead. Poised to fall. Leaf still stands, but he's going to be bringing up the rear with the rest of the squad as they rotate out.
Yeah, Cloud9 Blue trying to make that same old pivot move, and they're actually using Floppy's ult to try to get into defense spawn. Now, Zoms is aware of this being a possibility, and that rotation through back halls is there. And yeah, Floppy gets blindsided. He thought that maybe he could be the snake in the grass, something to blow things up, but Mitch says, that's okay, I'll take care of it. The big wall boost, he spots a player towards Kitchen. He does get caught, though, before he can escape. Now it's all on Zeta.
46 HP, it's not a whole lot to work with, but he does have a Vandal in hand. Now 23 HP, cut in half as he goes toe-to-toe with Sick once more. Sick comes out on top again. Sentinels, a 2-round lead. They claim, at the very least, an even half here in the first. And it seems like they've got a pretty good read on this Cloud9 squad.
Yeah, they're starting to really, you know, recover and settle into the game. I mean, there was those moments where Cloud9 Blue were starting to have some action-packed, you know, 1-2 punches from Poison Leaf, the misdirection to follow it and be able to capitalize on a couple of rounds in a row and really start chipping away at Sentinel's lead. But now we've seen, again, Sentinels start to have success with their aggression. They're starting to, you know, catch any type of gimmick that Cloud9 Blue throws at them, like that floppy ult, for example. And they're kind of firing on all cylinders at this point. That effect distribution is pretty tight. And everything's starting to, you know, fall into place for them. But how long will that last? As Poise is absolutely doinks onto Shazam, living up to his old ladder name.
Yeah, the doink machine going right to work, and Leaf is right behind him again. It's a battle of the duelists, and Leaf not going to get traded out 1-for-1. Instead, he'll find 2 on the round. Poise still incredibly healthy as he looks to take position on top of 410. The spike is planted. And if you blinked, you missed it. The A site has been taken by Cloud9 Blue, and Sentinels find themselves in a 2v4 retake. Unfortunately, Zom's only good for one, a one-and-done position. Dapper now needs to do something heroic, and he doesn't spot the toesies of Poise. The doink machine at it again.
Mr. Doinker. Actually doesn't sound nearly as good. Doesn't really have the same ring to it. No. Maybe just scrap that one. Maybe they won't let that one catch on. Has such impact in this round, but Leaf also doing it. It just kind of brings a smile to my face. You know, I'm, you know, coming from a Counter-Strike background as well, and Leaf was one of those players who played for Chaos, actually, for quite some time, alongside Steel for a time, as well as Vanity and some other players that you've seen make that transition over. And he was, you know, very young, only 17 years old, and was always a really big player on that team. And to see him now move to a game where what he has to do with Raze is far different than anything he had to do in Counter-Strike, and he's really been able to adapt to that quickly. Again, he's only been on the team for, what, since February, I think?
You will not kill my ally.
Very recently. As he gets resurrected, Tens took him down before. Tens will find another kill, so double kill on the duelist. Could make it a triple because of that resurrection from Poise. That Hunter Shuri going to split the uprights, not landing true this time around. And outside of the rifles and the weaponry that you've got, you don't have any ultimates on the side of Cloud9 Blue. This should be their round to win based off the arsenal alone, but things are looking a whole lot difficult as that Viper's pick goes down on B. You really have to make a play A.
Yeah, it does seem to be where they're kind of being funneled, and they've already lost a player towards this direction. Leaf, you know, again, a guy who had the maybe potential showstopper coming into play to help unlock things, and that definitely is going to set you back a bit, considering how much impact he has had helping open up these sites. They line up, though, for Tens, but it doesn't matter. Poise still breaks through, pops the Empress. They equal the numbers. Wall's going to come up to start trying to allow some cover for a plant. The balcony push is going to be halted by Mitch, and things are looking swimmingly for Cloud9 Blue.
Mitch finally goes down, but he got another kill with just about 40 health, and Floppy is there to reclaim it. He backs up his teammate. Back and forth we go now in a 2v2, but things started so well for Sentinels, and it's all up to Dapper again. This time a bit more doable. But as I say it, I curse him. Zeta will pick it up. 6-6 we go at the half. It's the decider map for Iceland Dust, and we are completely even.
You couldn't ask for a better story. Again, we already kind of set it up as Sentinels being the cream of the crop, and
the spike broke all of the wall.
Okay. So that's what happened that round. That's why I was so confused. So that explains a lot. I didn't even really think about that interaction in the heat of the moment. But yeah, that's big. And then you just saw the half go back and forth. Each team kind of having their moment in the sun when it came to this first half performance. But again, you have the front runners of Sentinels, the #1 team versus the dark horse of Cloud9 Blue. You couldn't have asked for a better storyline to start intertwining between these two teams with it going all 3 maps. And as you said, now we're all even going into the start of the second half. Both these teams, you know, have in general been pretty good defensively on this map. But I will say Sentinel's attack on Icebox since 10 has been on board has been at that around 66% win rate. So they're going to feel pretty at home here at equal footing.
Well, I think the scariest thing, as we see that spike look to be planted towards B, pretty uncontested there as Floppy tried to take some shots. I'm really going to be leaning on Zoms here. As Zeta going to go to work here, taking some shots onto 10s and not expecting him in that off angle. Swung a bit too wide and will eventually fall. Now a wall in response and some shots down range. Blast packs that come on through as well. Leaf doing so much to buy time for Mitch. Unfortunately, his since fallen. The snake bite on top of it, and it's all up to Floppy. Will eventually fall. The use of the utility there, huge for Sentinels to pick up the pistol. And it was Zoms. I talked about it just before we got into all the action. You said the Viper, right? You have to, on defense, you have to play through the Viper. That's what the Viper brings to the table. On offense, it gets a whole lot harder for you to force the defense to walk through your utility. So I'm keeping my eyes there, but I think perfect. There's no way out for Mitch on that.
It does make diffusing hard.
Yeah.
Like if you drop that poison cloud and a snake bite on the spike, good luck. The decay plus the damage of the snake bite combined, I mean, it's so hard to battle through that. You have to get her off the board almost before you even really kind of fully instill the retake and defuse, as Cloud9 Blue have generally, you know, this year been better defensively than on attack, just kind of on average, right? So my point is they're definitely still very much in this, even as Sentinel's attacking side of Icebox has been just so potent since Tense has been a part of the squad. And again, only 1 loss on the map thus far. That was to 100 Thieves yesterday. Other than that, they have been pretty much flawless. 88% win rate since Tense has come along. But we'll see if that continues to ring true, as again, they have a huge edge in this round, obviously, coming into a very empty A site against a saved Cloud9 Blue, who are now just going to have to play for retake with these Frenzies and Ghosts. And you imagine that an 8 should tick up there on the scoreboard any moment now for Sentinels.
It wasn't full stack towards air. I believe 4 players for Cloud9 Blue, but the Recon Bolt had bought everybody over. That rotation to come on through now. Those shots from downtown. Sick. Knocked down to 63 HP, forced to give away the position. Unfortunately, they're not really in a great position to find a round here. Paint shells, so just about all the utility now going to be used. It's the wide swing with the Frenzy. They're able to find a couple of kills, but 3 for 2, make it 3 for 3. And Cloud9 Blue, at the very least, making the bonus hurt. 10 still very healthy as Mitch looks to swing around the corner. The dismiss to get away, and Dapper will sit him down. It hurts a little bit, but either way, you'll take the round win for Sentinels.
Kind of the expectation, right? I mean, there wasn't really a whole lot Cloud9 Blue. Like, the only thing that they could really hope is that they'd be kind of stacked in the right place and then maybe try to run some type of death by 1,000 paper cuts type scenario, I guess you could say. But now it's time to really try to make a statement. Stop Sentinels from building the lead. Keep yourselves in a close contest. This round is big for momentum's sake and big for confidence. Okay. Get out long B pretty quickly. Wall up to try to slice their way into B site, essentially, once it gets popped here by the Viper. We're seeing that Mitch is kind of having to play back here. Able to shut down the recon vault pretty quickly. They're able to start calling for a rotation. They're able to start clearing out the mid area with that drone, but now here comes the attack. Flank from Leaf has been already caught.
Leaf was moving quick on that. Unfortunately, it does get caught out. He's not able to find too much. Just takes some damage on the way in and the way out. Six Zombs, Dapper, Leaf, Poise, all on the board now here in this round. But Sentinels to find themselves up a player. A couple of snake bites available to Zombs and a shock dart looking to chip away. This is, again, where that Viper, you can't really disrespect her here because you have to go for the spike. And 8 seconds of time going to be bought. Zombs finds one through the toxic screen. Floppy forced to just save the Vandal here in this. Sentinels look to push to 9. And things are starting to get dire. 10 probably on the horizon based off of the economy here for Cloud9.
No, that's a fair point to make. And I think, again, it really just comes down to the fact that you have to get that Viper off the board as quick as possible in a retake. Otherwise, her utility becomes just so hard to get around. The decay and the damage of the snake bite and just, you know, it just makes it so difficult. Your vision's being limited as well. And pushing through the wall becomes more and more of a threat. Like, it's already a threat because you are going to, you know, not know what's on the other side, but it's also that little bit of decay that you might encounter as you come through makes you a little bit vulnerable that first, like, split second as you get to the other side before you recover. And so there's a lot to kind of handle. And the Viper definitely got, finally, like, the true bust she needed to be viable. And now you're seeing the power of it. And again, Zombs, this is, I think, only his 3rd game of Viper ever, maybe? Always kind of playing the Brim and Omen, and then obviously the Astra, so a new role for him, but making it work.
Early aggression there from Floppy, just trying to catch the team off guard, and Dapper sniffs it out. Shazam picks up another. Oh my goodness! Quite possibly aim lab flick of the day there by Tens, who was Ferrari swinging through 410 and picks up a headshot. Which is able to grab 1 kill, but not long for this world. Floppy was the only one with a weapon.
Oh,
he went down nice and early.
I like how you're giving the free Ferrari product placement on the stream. They didn't pay for that. I don't think anyone here really in the market for one either, except for whoever makes it to Iceland, because that prize money might allow them to buy half of a Ferrari. So, I mean, like, you know, maybe it just kind of depends on what you're into, I guess. It's an app description, though. I'll give you that. As Sentinels will find double digits first here on map 3. Just now 3 away from booking their tickets to... You want to take it?
Reykjavik.
Nailed it. I wouldn't have. That's why I passed it. You know, teamwork made the dream work, baby.
Teamwork makes the dream...
Wait. No. No.
No.
No, 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 no. No, 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 no,
Does he have
wait.
time?
What? What?
No! Oh my goodness! 0.02! And Sentinels pick up double digits! Mitch just needed to be a bit quicker. What did we just witness?
Oh, bro, we were sitting here having a little bit of banter thinking it was, you know, a done deal. You know, that the final draft had already been sent to the publisher for that round. And, well, there was a couple of potential last-minute changes that needed to be made by the author, which was Mitch in that situation. But unfortunately, the ink ran out right at the last moment. What do you know? I can't believe that that was even in the realms of possibility, Tanner. Imagine, I wonder if Sentinels realizes like just how close that was to them not winning the round.
Yeah, it looked like Zombs was going back, but then I would imagine they had said, you know, he doesn't have time. There's no way they calculated that there would be 0.02 seconds left on the clock for them to win that round or for the spike to blow.
I mean, mathematically, it only gets a little bit closer than that. Like, just by like a thousandth of a second or something, I get. I mean, that is unreal. As we have a little bit of a pause here. Not sure if it's attack, probably, though. Time is running out for Cloud9 Blue. If you think about it, they have a full buy here, but if they lose, they may only get one more, right? Yeah. Or they might have to just force buy the rest of the game if this doesn't work. So this is like really, I wouldn't say last chance saloon, but I mean, it's up there. As Mitch trying something a little bit gimmicky, and it kind of works, which is Amphon to pick elsewhere, and the res cancels it out.
Yeah, that stings, but that makes things look a whole lot better. Boys picks up one, now needs to try and get away from that recon bolt. He's going to be spotted, but the information was already there, so no harm No foul. Both Mitch and Zom's gonna be in just about the same boat. No armor, lower on HP. Leaf swings for one, but Sick is there to trade it back. A heads-up play as that spike it's tossed on over. Viper's Pit available, and there it is, the domain expansion. For Zoms as a resurrection in response, but Shazam looking to do something crazy on top of the pipes here. Picks up one, picks up two. It's 3 on the round, dashes away, and still so incredibly healthy. Dust, you said it. This round could really close out the entire game, and it all comes down to Poise and Mitch, who have to make their way into the Viper's Pit. And they might not be long for this world. Playing on the outside, Poise picks up Shazam. The Viper swings the dismiss to get away, but they're running out of time. 11 on the docket here as Sick picks up Mitch. Now Poise to fall again. It's 3K for 3K. Shazam and Sick will pick up 6 on the round collectively, and Sentinels push to 11.
I mean, those kills from Shazam mean everything. I mean, it's not only that he gets 2 kills and cuts with the rotation, but he gets the read that there's no flank, right? It all has to be coming from that one direction. He also gets his team a man advantage. He slows down the retake process. I mean, so many things go into those dagger kills that he gets, and it comes from a play that you don't expect in that situation, right? Like that 2 boost is kind of like an early round situation to try to get a pick up middle or maybe a pick towards B side and, you know, try to catch your opponent off guard that way, not in some type of real late round situation to just like foil a rotation. I mean, that is wild, bold, but powerful. And Leaf, oh man, that could have been a big exclamation mark if he would have landed that, but Sentinels avoid, and now they're starting to race to the finish line, man. That's a big opening pick there. They're looking for more, and they're gonna get it as the aggression from Cloud9 is being halted. A couple finally come through, but Zom's able to collect the rest. It comes down to this 2 versus 1, very much in the favor of Sentinels. Spike not even required. Shazam will do the finishing duties. And so if that's it, man, 1 more round. That's all that's required, and the credits are still in a rocky place for several of Cloud9 Blue's players. Yes, they're able to get rifles on most of them, but it's a Spectre for Poise, it's a Guardian for Zeta.
No armor.
Yep. Also, Mitch having to go Spectre. Now they decide to do a little bit of swapping around. They're going to get armor on most of their players. But again, it's still going to be 3 Spectres at the end of the day. Zeta having to, you know, swap back to be able to afford the shields. And here we go. This could be it. As Sentinels are looking to send it to A, and they're not looking to waste any time doing it.
Looking to put a stamp in it. Looking to continue the winning ways. Sentinels over Cloud9. Leaf on the flank. Gonna pick up the first. It's a hindered economy. That's a great start here in this. As Tens looks to get that spike planted. Floppy with a huge push to find the kill, but 2 traded right back. Dapper goes up top. Now Zeta needs to go huge. This could be it. Zeta finds 1. 72 HP. This is the moment that Zeta needs. The spike is laying flat on the floor, and the Hunter's Fury is available. Recon Bolt as well inside the Poison Cloud. Zoms will go. Sick right behind him, playing up towards heaven. Not going to spot him out just yet. Sick does do that. Chipped away to half HP. Around the corner, and Zeta needs to hang on. A 1v1 Zoms full HP. 52 health for the Sova. As he looks to re-swing, that's going to do it. Zoms will sit him down.